Natalie turned around and saw Curtis Westing and Mark Ellington standing there. Tony also heard Ellington's voice and stopped working out.
Natalie, you really have a celebrity to look after, I see. Why don't you guys just go and spread some more rumors on the internet? Who knows, maybe someone in the media might be willing to report on it.
He smiled disdainfully, and Curtis Westing laughed dryly. I don't need your public relations advice. I'm quite capable of looking after my people. I even have my eyes on someone to team him up with to create a power couple on screen.
I don't think so. Pavel hasn't been in the public eye for long. How are you going to find an audience for him or any of his pals?
You don't really have to worry about Tony or his image in public. Ellington's expression darkened and he glared at Natalie. Do you think you can still scare me and Tony like that? As she spoke, Natalie put her arm around Tony's shoulder protectively, projecting strength and confidence.
What do you mean by being so rude to me?
A few other workers who were watching from the sidelines couldn't help but laugh loudly when they saw Ellington's distorted, angry face. Come on, Tony. These aren't your kind of people anymore. She took his arm and they left. On the way to the office, she leaned close to Tony and whispered, Did you see what I did there?
You stood up to that arrogant bully.
Exactly. I want you to try and be more like that in the future. Don't be afraid of getting into trouble. If there are any problems, I'll resolve them for you.
Thank you, Natalie.
It was already afternoon. She decided to get off work early and grab herself some private time. Distracted, she bumped into a man at the entrance. I'm sorry, please excuse me.
Don't you watch where you're going, damn it!
She had clearly apologized sincerely, but this guy seemed intent on making a fuss. Look, mister, I've already apologized to you. I didn't mean to bump into you. What's your beef? Faced with such a self-composed and attractive person, he was disarmed.
I apologize. That was rude of me. Forgive me. Do you work for Star Entertainment, by the way?
Yes, I work here.
I don't know who you are, but do you know who I am?
He held his chin up proudly, looking down at her. I don't think I have any idea who you are. If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way. Natalie walked away without looking back. He knew that he had offended her, so he went to the front desk to inquire about Natalie's identity. When he was told that Natalie was the new manager, he was surprised. He stood looking out of the front windows, thinking about Natalie. Meanwhile, Natalie, who really didn't know who Howard was, hailed a taxi and went home. She decided to take a shower and relax. She knew that the house staff wouldn't come to the guest room. In the shower, the warm water hit her skin. Oh, it was very relaxing. She wrapped the bath towel around herself and walked to her bedroom to get her clothes. She didn't notice that Bryce was sitting on the sofa. Bryce was resting there, his eyes closed. When he heard Natalie's soft footsteps, he opened his eyes and saw her walking along wrapped in the towel. He looked at her as she went by, attracted to her. She saw Bryce sitting on the sofa, looking at her. Natalie let out a shrill scream of surprise. What the hell are you doing here? Shame on you, looking at me like that. Natalie's face had flushed red with embarrassment.
Well, this is my house. Why shouldn't I be here? And you, on the other hand.
Natalie was ashamed and angry at the same time. Bryce looked at her. He felt like teasing her, so he got up and walked over.
Natalie, are you testing my husbandly resolve?
Natalie jumped as if she'd been scalded. Bryce, you're going too far. Natalie wasn't really sure what was happening here. But then he laughed heartily and said,
Your face, what a sight.
And Natalie realized that he had just been fooling with her. She threw some clothes at Bryce angrily.
Okay, fun time is over. Better get yourself dressed before anyone else sees you.
She picked out some clothes before running to the bathroom. Watching her go, a gentle, affectionate smile appeared on Bryce's face. Natalie appeared a short while later. Bryce pretended to be indifferent, saying,
Anyway, why are you back so early today?
Because I had nothing else to do at work. I had no idea that you'd be here, and I could ask you the same question. Why did you come home so early today?
I'm leaving on a business trip to Los Angeles today. I'll be back in 2 days. Mrs. Perkins told me I should say goodbye to you before I left. I'd best be getting along now."
The words Natalie wanted to say caught in her throat, and she just watched him go. When Bryce's car disappeared down the driveway, she let out a long sigh of relief. Natalie still had some lingering feelings about what just happened. But there seemed to be something else too. But she couldn't put her finger on it. In the car, Bryce was also thinking about what had just happened. Natalie's face, flushed with emotion, appeared in his mind. He smiled at the memory.
Hi, I am Natalie. Want to know my story? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of The Return Now.